Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 131, going through my vinyl collection, just cruising through this thing. Today we've got a very, very famous album. This one came out in 68, I think? Yes, 1968. My copy is a 1976 release. Album's in great shape, cover's in really good shape. But is this the worst album cover in the world or not? That's my question for you guys today. We're talking, of course, about the Beatles, the White Album. Here's why I could make a case for it being the worst album cover. There's absolutely nothing interesting about it, nothing to look at, nothing to enjoy while you're listening to the music. But that's also the same case I could make it for being the greatest album cover. And here's why. I would have never thought of this until I went to, when I was living in Vegas, there's a place in the, Venetian shops, and it's called Le Macaroon. And it wasn't there when I moved. It came about a year or so later. But they have this little upstairs where you can enjoy your macaroon, a cup of coffee, whatever. And they tell you, for the best sensory experience, close your eyes while you eat the macaroon, or little candy or whatever you might buy. And I started thinking about it when I was about ready to do this episode. I'm like, isn't that maybe why this album cover is genius? Maybe it's because you shouldn't be distracted while listening to the music, that you should just close your eyes and immerse yourself in the sound. So maybe it is the greatest album cover. I guess you'd have to go right along with Metallica's Black Album, because that's basically the same thing, although there's like a ingrained snake in it. So I don't know. I suppose that you could make that argument. I don't know. What do you guys think? This copy is on Capitol Records, and it's in really good shape. I don't recall ever seeing this Capitol logo before, but obviously it did exist because I have it. So that is the first record. This is a double album because there's tons and tons of music, and there are sides 3 and 4. And there's not much to show you on the outside of the jacket because the back is even less interesting than the front. In the front, at least, we have the words "The Beatles." I don't know how long you could stare at that. I don't know how interesting that could be. But this is a nice thick spine for 70, what did I say? 70, 75. Yeah. On the inside, we have these very famous pictures of our Beatles and really next to nothing else. Again, nothing to really pour over while you're listening to the album. So let's see what it comes with, because I think there was a treasure or two in here. So here we just have the generic sleeve, but it does come with treasures. Let's see, make sure I got them all here before I show you. I know this is a really exciting video, guys, right? Okay, we do. You know what it is? The same 4 damn pictures we were just looking at. John, George, Ringo, Paul. Now, as far as interesting, I suppose these were meant to go up on your wall. That would make sense. Maybe get like a nice little frame for them and put them in like one of those 4 frames or 4 individual small frames. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. But I'm like, they could have at least given you different pictures than the ones that they already had in the album. I mean, we just saw them, right? So there's that. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, there is. Again, just a generic sleeve, but we get this, which, at this point, this makes about as much sense as their music does, because they were kind of off the wall at this point. I'm not knocking it because I love the music, but I mean, as far as like structured songwriting, singing about normal topics or words that even make sense, I think at this point, John Lennon was just like, I don't know what rhymes, let's put that in the song. It doesn't even need to make sense anymore. And that's okay, because sometimes you just need music to be enjoyable and not anything that needs to be understood or figured out. So here we have this wonderful poster. I don't know how much of that you can see. Trying to get it all there for you guys. So wonderful poster. On the back, we have all the lyrics. So we do have a little something to look at, which is nice. But what if all the issues didn't have this? I don't know. I don't recall my original version of the White Album having this. I don't think it even had the pictures, but I might have had like a newer reissue that was scaled down for keeping costs low. like an 80s reissue or something like that, very possible. But I mean, guys, the music on here is just, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Going with side one here, back in the USSR, Dear Prudence, Glass Onion, one of my favorites, Obla Di Obla Da, which, what was it, the Wonder Years, I think, used that as their theme song. Wild Honey Pie, which is a really weird song. The continuing story of, where is it? The continuing story of Bungalow Bill. Almost forgot about that one. While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Absolute classic song. Happiness is a Warm Gun. That's just side one. You get 3 more sides. We've got Martha, My Dear, I'm So Tired, Blackbird. They did a really cool thing with Blackbird at the Cirque du Soleil Love Show. Really enjoyed that. Piggies, Rocky Raccoon, which really sounds like it belongs on my Muppets album from the other day. Don't Pass Me By, which is a really nice song. Why Don't We Do It in the Road? You know, I almost keep thinking that that's on Let It Be for some reason. It just sounds like it would be on Abbey Road. I Will, and then Julia. Love Julia. That's an excellent song. Actually, that was one of the reasons I wanted to get the White Album in the first place. So then we're over on side 3. We have Birthday, Your Blues, Y-E-R, Your Blues. Reminds me of the Intellivision. If you had Intellivision baseball, and you know, like you tagged a guy out or you struck him out, it would go "You're out," and it just sounded like it was saying Y-E-R. Let's see. Everybody's Got Something to Hide except for Me and My Monkey. Sexy Sadie, Helter Skelter, Long, Long, Long. And then on side 4, let's see here, we have Revolution, which is the first Revolution. And we have Honey Pie, really killer song, Savoy Truffle, Cry Baby Cry, another one of my absolute favorite Beatles songs. Revolution number 9, and then Good Night, which is a great track to end the album with. Just killer tracks. I mean, this is just some amazing stuff on this album. And, you know, squeezing so many songs onto one album instead of doing 2 releases and really taking advantage of that opportunity. Because you got to figure, if the Beatles were doing something, it was going to get a huge amount of sales. So I have to kind of admire the fact that they didn't split these into 2 albums and say, let's really take the fans for what we can while we can. Because they certainly would have been able to do that. Of course, I don't know what the pricing of the White Album was. Obviously, the costs are a little higher producing a double album. You know, you've got 2 vinyls to press for each one. You've got a much bigger, you know, the cover. You've got the 2 inserts. So there's a lot more that goes into it. But yeah, kudos to them for not ripping their fans off, and Capitol Records, I guess. Or whoever was the first to release it, because I'm not sure who the initial record company was. After that, everyone else is kind of stuck, I feel, with what the original release was. Like I said, unless they want to do a scaled down version, which is just the records and not all the extra inserts. But it's a great album, great piece of Beatles history, and one that I think is highly worth listening to. So take a chance, check it out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.